my Troublesomes, it's Miracle and welcome back to Mind of Miracle. I'm so happy you guys decided to join me today, and yeah, it's a new day, guys, and for whatever reason I feel compelled to involve myself with things that have nothing to do with me. So as it is, guys, I'm going to present all the facts to you. If the title wasn't clear, this whole video is just going to go off and explain what has transpired within the last 7 days revolving around Rich Lux, Lushious Massacr, and Nick Snyder. That is, yeah, that's it. All right, so let's just get started. And I just want you guys to know, again, everything that I'm going to be saying is going to be based off of fact. All my opinions will be held at the end of the video because, girl, let me tell you, I got a lot of them. Okay, my loves. So, from what I could see, this whole thing seemed to have started about 6 or 7 days ago when Rich and Nick decided to create a video involving the up-and-coming docuseries with James Charles. You know, the whole micro-influencer show that's going to be coming out showcasing all of these special makeup artists and their talents or whatever. And so doing in that video, they make mention of who they thought was going to be a part of the cast, and then they talked about certain people's personalities, and then they just threw in some jokes here and there saying that I should be a part of the panel. Well, Rich said I should be a part of the panel because they need some shade thrown in the show just to make it entertaining because people love the drama. Manny MUAce, his name came up in the conversation. During that video, Lux had referred to Manny as Manny Mooch, and that ended up triggering Manny's father, who then took to Twitter to be able to say that this sort of action against his son was unnecessary, and you don't know what that word does to trigger him emotionally, and that's basically the whole gist of what happened. Now, honey, how does that involve Luscious? Let me tell you, okay? So let me consult my little book of documenting, all right? So, a lot of people have been saying that this whole thing started because Nick Snyder ended up creating this video involving Luscious, and then Luscious just snapped back, honey, but no. It seems what had happened is that on November 26th, Luscious had took it upon herself to insert herself with the beef that was going on between Nick Snyder and Rich Lux and Manny MUA. I'm gonna insert the tweet so you guys can read through it, and then we're going to start referencing that throughout this video, okay? So Nick Snyder created this video 6 days ago where he titles it, "I Really Messed Up." And within that video, Nick addresses the fact that a lot of people were saying that he was essentially dismissing Manny's father's growth, calling him a reformed homophobe. He put that in quotations. Nick ended up addressing that and he apologized for using the quotations. He wasn't in essence saying that he did not believe that, you know, Manny's father wasn't reformed. He was more so just saying, like, listen, this is what happens because you did XYZ in the past. Like, you shouldn't be talking about bullying when you were in the same position before. Within that video, Nick ended up addressing the fact that Luscious needs to mind her P's and Q's because she was in the same position where she sat there with Rich and blasted Manny and was blasting a lot of other people and was involved with this drama life. So stop acting higher than thou. Now, honey, this book, it seems that on November 27th, Luscious took it upon herself to address Nick Snyder's video and commentary about her acting higher than. Now, honey, let me tell you, I thought it, listen, I know I said my opinions were gonna come to the end, but I just thought it was ridiculous to add insult to injury. Clearly Nick Snyder's name is Googleable. Do you know about Nick because you see Nick on Twitter? Clearly, you could just do a quick YouTube, type in Nick S, and then Nick Snyder will pop up. And honey spelled name all the way wrong. Honey spelled Nick's name all the way wrong. I just thought that was, listen, all right, we're just addressing that because I thought that was type petty. Like, why? That was just insult to injury. All right, anyway, so within this video, Luscious then in turn decided to take it upon herself to drag Nick, and also brought in Dustin Dailey for whatever reason or whatever, and made this whole entire video about how Nick was a bully, how Nick had been dragging Luscious' name through the mud, how Nick's following has been harassing Luscious for like the last 2 months or so for whatever reason. Throughout this video, it doesn't seem like Rich's name was really mentioned all that much. As it were, the only thing that I saw is that Luscious tried to insinuate that someone had been encouraging Nick to end up blasting Luscious, and had been encouraging Dustin Dailey to blast Luscious, because according to Luscious, these two parties did not know her directly. Now, within that video about the social climbing, Luscious then in turn said, and I'm putting pretty accurate quotes, I'm just probably going to insert the clip. Luscious in turn then ended up saying that Luscious could not be friends with Rich because of who he was surrounded by. Now, after watching that video, Rich Lux took it upon himself to end up commentating on said commentary. I'm gonna give you guys the gist of what was said. In the beginning, Rich Lux just touched on why he did not want to continue friendship with Luscious. It took place somewhat last year when Rich was going through surgery, and as it were, Luscious was unavailable to Rich to be able to help take care of him, and then he just made mention of the fact that Dustin Dailey was there to be able to take care of him, and Nick Snyder was also there as a good friend. Rich also brings into play the fact that when Rich was ready to film his music video, Luscious was very uncooperative, came late, did not honor the time and effort and money that was spent on the project, and it seemed to be making the situation about her. Towards the end of the video, Rich then insinuates that Luscious seemed a little bit embittered about the dynamic of their friendship, and then also basically says that Luscious was in a one-sided competition with Rich. Rich just goes on to say that, yo, when we're growing together, we're coming up together, and you just wanted to do your own thing, boo-boo, and I wasn't about to stop you. To close off, Rich then commentates the fact that he wasn't going to stand for Luscious coming for his friends, and he was just being a tried and true example of what it means to be a proper friend, and just talked about his level of hurt that he experienced when Luscious was unavailable during his own social dragging about 2 months ago with the racial slur. Done. Luscious didn't even leave the car, honey. Luscious did not leave the car. That's what I'm saying, because Luscious's video was a hot like 20 minutes. Rich's video was a hot 15-20 minutes. Luscious stayed in the car to address the situation, all right? Luscious just outwardly says that Rich has no integrity, honey. Rich was a master manipulator. These are the words that came from Luscious. The strongest point that Luscious ended up bringing to the table at the beginning of the video, I have thoughts for this, honey, was that I am the one girl you should have never crossed. I have everything. Honey, I'm gonna insert that clip because it was powerful.
Here we go again. 2 videos in one day. I've never had to do this before, but I'm about to. I'm about to because, like I said before, I am tired and I am going to defend myself because these people are playing these little games and I am done. Okay? The gloves are off. You have crossed a line and clearly there is no loyalty on your part. There is no integrity like you said that you had. Let's keep it real and let's talk about what just happened. So Rich Lux made a video. Okay? You don't even need to go watch the video, girl. Don't be bothered. In the video, he said that he's upset because apparently he's upset because he was getting an operation. This is over a year ago. Okay, so this is where all the lies, I'm gonna go through everything he said and all his lies start to fall apart. I'm gonna break down how he is manipulating the story and I'm gonna tell you what really happened so you guys can see through that manipulation, because this is Rich Lux and this is one of the reasons why I have stayed quiet. This is what he does for a living. He's a master manipulator. He is a master character assassinator. He knows what to say, what to do to come off as the victim and to be able to say whatever he wants so he can ruin and destroy people, okay? And I can say this because I've been behind the scenes and I've seen the things he says and the way he operates, and it's not gonna work with me, okay? I'm the one girl. I'm the one girl you should have never crossed. I'm the one person you should have never made a video about, because I have it all, baby. I have everything. Everything. You should have never even gotten there.
Did you feel the power in that statement? Okay, got thoughts. I got thoughts. Luscious ends up bringing up Dustin Dailey, mentioning the fact that, referencing the whole thing, the whole tea, the alleged tea behind that sort of scenario, saying that Dustin was paid by Rich to take care of him. That Dustin was out there running around on Grindr, then decided to jump and say that y'all need to know about how much of a master manipulator Rich is and how he is a social climber in essence, and how he records all his conversations with people, and don't take anything for what he says for truth, because he just runs some crocodile tears for views. He's basically saying that Jeffree Star ended up teaching Rich Lux to surround himself with yes people, and also that Rich had tried to instruct Luscious that if you cry, you basically can get out of everything, and that's why you see Rich Lux come out with the boo-hoo crocodile tears that you see in his 2 videos. In closing, this is what Luscious originally had said was the whole end-all be-all sort of scenario in which she decided that she could not be friends with Rich anymore. I'm going to just insert the clip because I want you guys to just hear it for yourselves.
Your ego is out of control. Let me tell you the number one reason why Rich Lux and I, our friendship ended. We came to the point one day when I called him, okay? And I know he recorded this phone call conversation, and that's fine. He can air it out. He can play the audio, girl. I have nothing to be ashamed of because all I spoke was truth. Let me tell you something about Rich Lux that y'all don't know. He records every single conversation that he has, okay? He records every single conversation with Jeffree Star, every single conversation with every drama channel, anybody in his life, girl, everybody. He records the conversations because he's saving it all for the moment that he needs to use it. The moment he needs to turn around and manipulate the story, make himself look like a victim, pull out the receipt, he's ready. The reason why we fell out, let's go back to the phone conversation. On the phone, I told him, you know what, Rich? I am so exhausted with everybody always saying that I'm social climbing off of you, that I'm leeching off of you, that you made my career. I have been doing makeup for years. I've been on Instagram for years. I already had my own following on Instagram for years. When we started doing videos together, things started popping off on YouTube. Am I grateful for it? Absolutely. You exposed me to a lot of your audience, baby, but in no way near, in any way, shape, or form did you make me? Did you teach me, honey? I said to him, I don't want to be your friend in public anymore. This is becoming too much. This is too hurtful. All of the comments are starting to get to me. I don't want to make drama videos with you anymore. Let's just be friends. Let's go back to being friends like we used to back in the day and just keep it cute and be there for each other, talk on the phone, be each other's therapists like we were for years. Let's just break down all the egos and all the drama, all these big personalities, Martin and Rich. Let's go back to being those kind of friends. And he said to me, Luscious, and this is where I knew that the friendship was over. There was never any going back. Could we be maybe cordial? Could we be like casually speak here and there and have respect for each other? There was never any going back because he said to me, this is the problem with you. You never realized that I'm the queen and you need to bow to me.
Honey, this is what gets me though. When you thought that Luscious was done, Luscious said, no honey, now I'm home. I had all day to think about this. I'ma also drop these gems. Luscious decided to address the racism thing. Luscious then in turn says, honey, the reason why I couldn't defend you is because I'm not 100% sure that you were not a racist, and then proceeds to drop some receipts. Just left it alone. Honey, okay, like I'm getting, like, okay. Alright, so Dustin Dailey ends up deciding to drop his response video. Dustin says, whatever you and Rich got going on, Luscious, they ain't got nothing to do with me, but you ain't about to drag my name. I was not involved with this nonsense. Dustin says that Rich did not pay me, and I know for a fact that Rich offered to pay you $1,000 in order to take care of him in his time of need. Dustin ends up saying that Rich ended up giving him some like Gucci wallet or whatever, Gucci slides, whatever, I don't really remember, but that was his payment. He was just trying to be a good friend, and also just throws out there that Rich was kind of really loopy while he was out of commission, and he might be attributing that to the medication. He's not 100% sure, and he just starts to articulate how much it meant to him that that Rich would address the fact that Dustin was there for him on the daily, how much it meant to him, and how they were still good friends. They were gonna go hang out when he went to Houston or whatever. Dustin was not taking none of Lucious's crap. He was not, because Dustin was like, what does me going on Grindr have to do with any of this scenario? What does it have to do with anything? And why are you bringing up what goes on in my bedroom? My man knows what's going on. Mind your business. Just mind your business. And honey. So then Rich decides to make a video discussing the racial issue. As it were, Rich then says, hey, I'm probably gonna have to be apologizing for this for the rest of my life, but it just feels kind of weird that every time I just get the come up, every time I'm getting up there, somebody else is trying to drag me and destroy me. I got a lot of haters out there. All right, so that video ends up continuing. Rich again issues another apology for saying the words. He says, like, I grew up in a certain environment. Now I know that this is wrong when I was younger, dumber, whatever. And then ends up closing it by, you know, just basically saying that I'm going to have to move forward. He ends up saying that he can't change the past, and what he's going to end up doing is work on the future. And again, he just has to be mindful of who his true friends are, because not everybody who says that they are praying for you is really praying for you. They're praying on you, honey. I have a lot of thoughts, babes. All right, so here we go. I need to take my notebook out again. Honey, Luscious, baby, I don't know if you ever see this video, I don't know how, but in the people who are watching this video, please let me know what you think. Honey, please. Luscious, why were you inserting yourself in Manny MUA's business? Again, I don't know your relationships with people, so I'm gonna call myself out there. I don't know if you guys are best buddies on the DL. Guys, my suspicion radar went up nearly immediately, because why is it that the last video before Luscious calls everybody out on their shenanigans, before he calls out Nick Snyder, is his entry into the up-and-coming James Charles series? Why? We're gonna leave that alone. I'm just giving you guys the information, and then you can determine how you feel about it, okay? But these are my thoughts. Now, Rich, I play two sides on this. One, I can totally understand, and it's no secret. If you go on my Instagram, you probably see I'm a big fan of Rich Lux. I am, because, honey, like, Rich is hilarious. But I also have to talk bad about the people. I'm not talking bad. Rather, I also want to be able to call out the people that I look up to, because I believe in having realistic views of the people that you look up to. I'm not going to worship you. You are not an idol to me. You're just somebody that I admire. That being said, honey, Rich had in turn decided to take it upon himself to insert himself into that sort of scenario between Nick and Lucious, which I totally get, because you're being a proper friend. Proper friends will end up addressing the situation. My only thing is I really wished that Rich just left it up to them and addressed Lucious either in private, one, or just left the scenario at what it was. I don't see the merit in also inserting the reason why your friendship dissolved. I don't see the merit in talking about Lucious and saying that Lucious just abandoned you in your time of need. I don't see the need in addressing the whole fact that Lucious made, you know, your whole shoot all about her. And then ultimately I felt like Rich handled this situation in a semi-dignified way. I feel like at the end of it, he did not cast Lucious to hell. He did not say that Lucious doesn't deserve anything great in life. He just closed it with saying, I wish you the best in everything that you do, and it's unfortunate that our friendship just went off like this. Back to Lucious. Honey, my nerves are bad. Like, my nerves are so bad during that video, because I'm like, babes, why was your response video like that? There was power and there was intent in how Lucious was like, honey, you rest with the wrong one. You messed with the wrong one, boo-boo. I got stuff on you. Lucious was like, I will backhand you into failure. I was like, girl, why? Like, because my whole thing is, I don't care what's going on with you. I don't care how nasty you are. Baby, If you claim to be somebody's friend and you were their friend for 10 years, you cannot tell me that you were unaware of how their behaviors were. People change, but it was not that dramatic of a change in 1 year. Honey, you knew how Lux was. You knew. You can't tell me that you weren't aware that Rich Lux was a master manipulator. That being said, if you felt like he was a master manipulator, then you sat under him for 10 years. 10 years. You can't tell me you didn't pick up some of that energy, honey. You can't. You cannot. Nothing in me will be convinced of the fact that you didn't pick up on that sort of behavior, because meanwhile you were having all these passive aggressive thoughts about how Rich was no good for you and how Rich was changing in on himself and how Rich was cashing out on people. If you acknowledge the fact that Rich was a social climber, you sat there for all the years that it took for Rich to be a climber, and you sat there until Rich got to a position of being good for himself, and then that's when you hopped off, when you climbed up too. Listen, the pot can't be calling the kettle black. Like, it don't make no sense, honey. When you're sitting here and pretending like you were not aware of how somebody was, and you sat in their corner, you ate off their table, and then now that you have your own table, you feel like I don't need to be around you anymore. Honey, if you were a true friend, you would have said, baby, I understand that you have new friends at this time, and I understand that you have achieved greatness, but I'm your friend. I'm concerned for your well-being. So you know what? I'm gonna love you from this corner. I'm gonna love you from far away. But until you get that act together, I need to be able to know that you are good for yourself, because right now mentally you are not healthy for me. I think Rich would have appreciated that much more. I feel like you would have been in a better place, but I just feel like this whole dialogue, how everything went down, it seemed very strategic. You just had that lined up. You were supposed to be watching the video, and it was like you deadass uploaded the video like pretty immediately after. That's why I'm just so confuzzled. Like, this isn't only about Luscious. Rich, I lied. I am not done with Luscious. So that was one part of it that bothered me. Another part of it was the whole bringing Jeffree Star into the conversation. Called Rich a master manipulator. But me, I am a person who studied the foundations of human behavior and psychology. So honey, I know the signs of a manipulator, all right? Team Scorpio, hashtag I be knowing, all right? A phony. So that being said, come through with these receipts. I want to know why you brought Jeffree Star into this conversation. I would also like to know why, in fact, you sat there and then you also outed Rich as being a phone call recorder. You did a good thing, boo-boo. You smart. You is smart. I will tell you why, guys. Why is Luscious so smart? Think about it. If Rich Lux drops those receipts about him having recorded conversation with Lucious, everybody is going to flame him. Everybody. You can't be trusted. You's a low-down dog. You sit there and you look after your so-called friends, and then you hold collateral over their head. So, even if Rich wanted to defend himself at this point, Luscious did the smart thing and basically backed him up into a corner, because Rich is not going to do something that is going to potentially mess up his relationships with other people, especially big-time people. Guys, this is a growth tactic, in my opinion. Think about it. There's receipts about Luscious saying the fact that she wished that she was on Jeffree Star's PR list. There are receipts. I will insert that clip.
I get all through my feelings. Honestly, guys, the reason why I'm not reviewing the Jeffree Star and Chained Off the palette is because it's hard to come by. I did not get it sent in PR, girl. All I know is that Miss Jeffree, Miss Jeffree, she didn't send me. She didn't put me on the PR list. She didn't send me on the PR list, and I think that's shady. Miss Jeffree, you need to put me on that PR list, the house, honey. Everybody who follows me, whenever Jeffree talks about his little PR list, they be tagging me, and Jeffree's not bothered, honey. That's the real tea here. You want drama? Y'all want some drama, honey?
Luscious is so keen on saying that she will not support people that are racist bigots and manipulators and deceitful and all that stuff. Isn't that kind of deceitful? You sat there and said that you do not believe in anything that Jeffree Star is about. You say that you think that Jeffree Star is mean-spirited. You say that Jeffree Star holds smaller influencers down. You say all these things, but then you want to be on their PR list so that you can help yourself grow. That's mighty suspicious, honey. Let's just keep on moving. The final thing about Lucious's final video was the fact that not only did Lucious try to break relationships between people, but then Lucious also tried to come from Rich's bag. He came for his bread and his butter, honey. He called out his sponsors. He said, I will actively not support you because you are in favor of this person due to their bigotry, due to their racism, due to their hatred, their hate speech, and you are endorsing this person, you are paying this person to represent your company, so I'm not going to support you. Now, baby, even though your name doesn't get views like that, honey, you have an influence. You have an influence, and in so doing, your fans look up to you and your opinion. Why are you messing with this man's bag? You want them to cut him off. Your intentions are made clear. If I can't be your friend, and if you're not gonna be a good person to me, and if you're gonna be hateful, I'm gonna be hateful back, because again, what was it that you said? You messed with the wrong one. You messed with the wrong one.
Okay, I'm the one. I'm the one girl. I'm the one girl you should have never crossed. I'm the one person you should have never made a video about, because I have it all, baby. I have everything.
Troublesomes, go ahead, go off in the comments, because this is, how does nobody see the treachery? As I talked about before, I was highly disappointed with Rich's response to Lucious. I felt like he could have done a lot of things better. With that follow-up video, I love you, Rich. I love Rich so much. I really do. But those are some serious crocodile tears. Like, I almost wanted you to be like, yo, I have a condition where tears don't fall out my eyes. Like, I really wish you did that, and just come out with some medical receipts or something. Because, baby, nothing was coming out of your eyes. You were like...
Because he's been such a great friend to me, guys. And to see, like, I don't know what is going on.
And nothing. I was just like, babe, where? That apology video, you mentioned that you grew up in a certain neighborhood where things were okay and things were not okay. You also said that there was false receipts popping up. I wish that you would have taken the time to address which receipts were false. And when it comes to that hard ER, fam, there's a difference between the GA and that hard ER. Even if you grew up in a real bad neighborhood, nothing is ever gonna make that hard ER okay. Because I think a lot of people would come to terms with you using that word with the letter A at the end, because that is a whole commentary on, like, you know, camaraderie and you, like, you fit in with that community. But when you hit that hard ER, that is always and forever will be a racial slur. I'm disappointed that you would use that sort of language. I'm disappointed that you don't understand the ramifications of saying that sort of dialogue. But do I believe that you are genuinely apologetic for it? I almost wish, like, to be honest with you, Rich, I did not. To be honest with you guys, because I don't even know if Rich is going to see this, so I don't even know I'm directly addressing Rich in this. But in essence, I did not feel the sincerity, because it seems more like Rich was trying to get everybody to understand how he just felt like people were coming down on him. It just seemed like a defense video. It didn't seem genuine, because you can't defend yourself in a video at the same time as apologizing to a group of people that felt publicly hurt by your commentary. And even the previous apology video that you had linked, I want you to be able to address the fact that you said, not you apologized directly from saying the GA one, not for the ER one, and that's what these new receipts were. And if you did not say that, I feel like it's necessary that you take the time to show that they are falsified receipts, or even, I don't know, I don't want to go to this extent, but I almost feel like it's necessary for you to just say, like, yo, this person is speaking disparagingly against you, because that's a criminal offense. You're not supposed to be speaking about somebody disparagingly, but at the same time, you're a drama channel, so you put yourself in a really crappy position. I'm all for your final message. Your final message was, I can't change the past, but I can show through actions that I'm improving my future. Babes, that's good and everything. That is real good. But I still think personally that you need to actively, directly address that, and then just make it a short and sweet and concise video. I thought I was done with Luscious, but I'm not. And I know people, look, listen, I said I was a fan of Rich Lux, so I'm gonna keep the same energy, okay? Okay. Okay, Luscious, baby, if you're gonna call Rich out on being racist and you say that you couldn't help support Rich because you were concerned the fact that he was not a true racist, baby, nobody drops a hard ER, nobody drops a racial slur unless they feel comfortable with the people that they are around. Tell me otherwise. If you do not feel comfortable, if you cannot say it with your chest to the people that you're around, they're not gonna say it. So something begs to tell me there are missing things from this scenario. I don't know what you said in the undercover portions. I don't know what was happening behind the scenes, but where were you to say, babes, yo, don't use that sort of language? But you're gonna be the first one to oust that it's wrong. There's something wrong with that, and you held on to that information. That's what makes it wild to me. So should I be suspicious of the fact that you're a racist as well? I don't know, honey. That's all for you guys to decide down in the comment section below. Okay, so I am sounding off on this video. I know it was loud. I know it was all over the place, but I hope that this video informed you guys about what was going on with these people. I hope that you in turn decide to join me and see what other things I end up talking about, because drama ain't it from you, fam, okay? But even though I was all up in it, I just felt really invested because I really do care about some of these people that were involved. So that's it, and that's all. Oh my god, my Troublesomes, I lied to you and I am so sorry. As I was in the midst of editing after cleaning my filthy body from this morning, so that's why you see the whole outfit change and everything, and I look clean and happy. Luscious uploaded another video addressing the same scenario just when you thought it all died away. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. Luscious portrayed this whole new upload as a sort of apology video where she's apologizing not for what she said, but how she said it and where she decided to share this information. She's going over the basis and saying the reason why she chose YouTube as the public means to address this sort of situation is because she felt all the hatred coming from YouTube directly. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because, well, you guys know the whole tea and how I gave you the whole timeline. Luscious then also says that these larger influencers need to understand what power they hold over their following, understand that there's a lot of stans out there that end up taking it to another level, and then she proceeds to give these people some light and have their moment and publicly display these big hate comments that were following all over her videos. Now, opinion time. Now, I actually do hold Luscious to some higher light now that she has addressed this publicly, issued an apology, because yeah, you can be in your feelings, but also understand that no, this probably wasn't the best way to handle it. Do I necessarily buy into the idea that, you know, this all started off because it was a public forum and this is how it started off as publicly? No, not really. I'm not expecting you to be the bigger and badder person all the time, but alternatively, I don't really necessarily like the excuse of just saying, well, I'm human and this is how I'm gonna deal with things sometimes. Yeah, people make mistakes, but I don't know, there's some mistakes that they don't necessarily have to be made, especially if you're calling other people out on that same issue. You took your bigger platform and then ousted these people who have a smaller following, and then you allowed them to be put in a position to where now they're going to receive a large bit of hatred, and you I don't know, you encapsulated that on video. But you know, on the other scheme of things, those people publicly commented on your video, so they left that opportunity up to them. I almost just wish that you censored out their names, because I feel like that would have been a safety net for you. Alright guys, so these are my final thoughts. I don't know what else to say with this and addressing that, but if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below. I really enjoyed making these sort of drama type of videos. I enjoyed receiving all the information and making sure that I laid it out in a clear and concise way for you guys, and make sure that I kept my biased opinions to the end, so I allow you guys to think and formulate your own ideas before presenting my own personal opinions. Yeah, share this video if you think it's worth sharing. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for riding this wave with me, and hopefully you'll see me again doing something like this next time, except with something a little bit more positive. Alright guys, all my social media is in the description bar, and I'm actually saying goodbye for real this time. Bye!